You used to say, live and let live. You know you did, you know you did, you know you did. This ever-changing world in which we live in makes you break down and cry. Kill or be killed. But seriously, I'm gonna stick to Goat Kid on this one. Um, Hello out there, this is Goblin Hero, reminding you, you don't have to step forward to be Goblin Hero, you just have to not step back. So, yes, I've played through Undertale, and this is going to have spoilers in it, so this is your one warning. This video has spoilers for Undertale. If you have any passing interest in Undertale, just play it. Don't go in spoilers. It's best to go in relatively blind, and because discovery is really a part of that game. So, anyways, I've looked through some videos on theories and what is what and which is which. One theory that stuck with me was if Frisk is dead at a neutral ending or not, because there are some oddities there. I was just thinking, well, maybe, but there's also another concept we have to consider because we know the person with determination can reset, but there's also like a reset space. Well, what is reset space? It's like every time you die, you have a screen where you reset. I'm dead. I better go back. Or let's see here. I mean, technically, the title screen lets you reset too. Any ending has a reset screen, but I think there's something else important to consider, and that is the final boss of a neutral ending, Photoshop Flowey. And just as you would also consider Azrael Dreamer's Light and a couple other things, but I want to deconstruct this a bit, because first, let's consider who knows about reset space. Alphys might have an inkling that such a thing exists in her studies about determination. I don't know. We're pretty sure the most mysterious character, W.D. Gaster, knows about it. Heck, he may be stuck permanently in reset space due to his last experiment. But we know Flowey is aware of resets. And of course, by extension, Azrael. But Flowey's aware of resets. If you play through Genocide, which I've watched through because I didn't want to play it myself. Bad me. But you get some scenes where Flowey talks about resets and how, he's been through everything. He's solved everyone's problem. He's also killed everyone. He's essentially been through, as far as he knows, every variable he could have been through prior to Frisk's arrival in the Undergrounds. Essentially, it may be considered that Flowey did everything he could, then just reset and sat around, not changing everything one time, just maybe contemplating. Then Frisk falls down, and now Frisk, as the new person with the greatest determination, is in charge of resets instead of Flowey. Who else is aware of resets? We assume Kara, of course. We also assume Sans. Sans makes reference to resets. Timelines are stopping and shutting down and all sorts of this stuff. So Sans is very aware of resets. He just can't take part in them himself, we think. Though we know he understands that resets have been happening, and that's why the timeline isn't moving forward. Like he says, it doesn't matter if everyone is, gets up to the hill if you're all pulled back again. And that's knowing that is part of the reason why he's apparently so lazy, because to him nothing matters. It's all going to be meaningless in the end. Now, why do I say Kara is aware? Because, well, if you play through Genocide to the end, Kara, says, I'm going to destroy the world, blah. It doesn't matter if you choose not to. The world gets destroyed, essentially. Then when you load the game back up, you're left in a blank space, assuming this is a reset space. And then Kara, of course, makes you barter your soul to restore or reset the world. So we know Kara's aware. It just doesn't really... it's only for if you conduct a genocide run that it comes into play. Because Kara's dead, can't reset the world. We assume that when your soul's absorbed by someone else, you can't reset the world anymore. So, of course, Azrael, if you play through Pacifist ending, yeah, he wants to erase timelines and blah, blah, blah. He knows about resets because he was Flowey, blah, 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 blah. But what about... Now, I mentioned that thing about Photoshop Flowey because, well, prior to that fight, Frisk is in charge of resets. But when we get to that fight, what happens? Flowey's saying, yeah, you can't... I know about your saving, I know about that, but now I'm not letting you, back out of this, blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, Flowey's in control of resets again. After absorbing 6 human souls, he's now in control and he won't let you out. So now you fight Flowey in... I believe you're fighting him in reset space. I mean, that whole big body that is assumed to be part of something that comes from the old lab is just there in... Was there space enough for that in the tunnel? I don't know. I think we're fighting in reset space. And so, when the fight ends, I mean, Frisk regains the power to conduct resets. That's how you get out of a neutral ending and go decide to either play your genocide or your pacifist. But so that because you can't get through the wall, but no one finds you. So I'm assuming you're left in reset space, especially once Sans calls you. Sans shouldn't be able to reach you, because if you're past the core, a cell phone signal shouldn't reach you, which has been covered. Swanky Box does a really good theory on, is Frisk dead? Which I hope he watches this video and considers this idea that maybe Frisk isn't dead. Frisk is just stuck in reset space. And you don't know how long the fight with Flowey actually takes, because Flowey's messing with the time the whole fight. So it could have been a 5-minute fight. It could have been a 5-week fight. But Sans realizes, something happened, things aren't resetting, so he gives you a call. And Sans, understanding the concept of reset space, must have some way of contacting someone in reset space. Which is possible. Maybe he's still in contact with W.D. Gaster in some way. That's an interesting thought, too. Because apparently, according to, I guess, a blog post that was supposed to be from the point of view of Sans, he's supposed to, like one of the followers of Gaster, he's like, it's rude to talk about someone when they're listening. So it's Possibly he still has some way to contact Gaster. Who knows? Ah, well, I think I've exhausted my ideas on that. Is there anyone else that knows about reset space? Papyrus might have some idea about resets. I think the other little bits that are affected by, oh, you've already been through this once, let's not do it again, are just kind of a playstyle thing. Specifically, like when Metatons, when you can skip through the Romeo Juliet part with Metaton. But yeah, I think the people that are really, really aware of reset space are, of course, Gaster, who may be stuck in it, Kara, who's dead, uh, Azrael, who's dead, Flowey, who's the kind of Azrael, and Sans. Alphys maybe, but we don't know. Alphys focus their uh, research directly on determination, not really trying to find a way to get monster souls to hang around. Not really a focus on you know, resets and time travel. Anyways, I think that's it for me for now. Goblin Hero signing off.